Jessica.
Yeah?
It's chili making weather.
We make chili all year.
Welcome to Krocks in the Kitchen.
I'm Jessica.
And I am your chili master, Brian.
Oh, wow.
Yes!
Oh, wow.
Yes!
Okay, I'll give it to you.
So, I made a chili recipe a while ago. This chili recipe turned out to be very good. And a lot of people have made it. A lot of people have told me that they love it. And I've even actually, some people have told me that they entered it into like chili cook-offs and like placed very highly. I think one of them actually won. And I was like, yeah, super awesome vegan chili for the win. Which is what it was called, right? It was Brian's super awesome.
Wasn't it super tasty vegan chili?
Super tasty vegan chili. I don't remember. It was one of those.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll flash up the title there on the screen. But this one came from...
This one's your super awesome weird chili or
Yes.
something. I don't know. Whatever's in the title.
Yes, that's what it will be. But this is, I just put it in there as weird chili. So whenever I develop a recipe, I just put like a random title of what I think it should be, and then I sort of figure out like what the ingredients would be after that. And then I test and test and test and test and test. This one was one of those chilies that I was like, I got the inspiration because I saw somebody else make a soup, and in it they used a particular ingredient, and then that's what made everything else sort of spawn into being. And I was like, I could make a chili from this. And then I was like, and if I make a chili with this, I could use this other stuff. And so this is how I made this chili. For this recipe, you will need 1 medium onion diced. Jessica put out an onion there in case you don't know what that looks like. You will also need 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. You can use fresh garlic, or you can get some premium peeled garlic like Jessica got here from Trader Joe's. Then you will also need 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder and 2 tablespoons of chili powder. And for those of you outside of the US, chili powder is different. It has other things in it other than just dried chilies. You will also need 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste, no salt added. You will also need 2 15-ounce cans of kidney beans that have been drained and rinsed. Of course, these are no salt added as well. And you will need 2 cans of diced tomato. You can use the fire roasted or just plain tomatoes, but either way, those are also no salt added. And now for one of the strange ingredients, oat groats. Now the oat groats will need to be rinsed, but you don't need to pre-cook them beforehand. We are just going to put those straight into the dish. You will also need 2 cups of veggie broth. We use the Better Than Bouillon, which is 2 teaspoons of Better Than Bouillon mixed in with 2 cups of hot water. And finally, you will need 2 tablespoons of low sodium tamari soy sauce or liquid aminos, just to add that salty flavor. Heat a large pot or Dutch oven to medium or medium high, just enough so we can get cooking these onions. Just go ahead and toss those in there. And if you see that the onions start to stick, just go ahead and add in a splash of water. Yeah, I probably should have raised the camera up a bit, turned the fan on or something. It got super steamy and I am sorry. After the onions have cooked for a few minutes and have taken on a lovely brown color, you can go ahead and add in the garlic and cook that for an additional minute. Go ahead and keep adding in water. If stuff keeps sticking, it's perfectly fine. It'll come off the bottom. Now, go ahead and add in the chili powder and give that a good stir around so it gets good and mixed in. After that, add in the cocoa powder and do the exact same thing. If it gets really, really dry, go ahead and add in another splash of water just to make sure that none of these spices actually just end up burning to the bottom, like we're about to happen here before I put in some water. You will see this all comes together, and trust me when I tell you this smells amazing. It's just so good. Once that's heated up just a bit, go ahead and add in the tomato paste, the entire can, and give that a good stir as well. Once that is combined, you can go ahead and add in the diced tomatoes. Once that's good and incorporated, you can go ahead and stir in the 2 cans of kidney beans. Yeah, now it's starting to look like chili. And finally, the oat groats. Once again, those were rinsed, and so you just need to rinse them and toss them straight into the pot. Stir it all up, make sure that everything is good and distributed throughout the rest of the chili, and then it's time to add in the veggie broth. And the tamari as well. And once again, stir, 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 and get this all combined. Reduce the heat to low, cover and cook for at least 1 hour, stirring occasionally. The reason why it needs to cook so long, and you can actually cook it longer, but really what you want to do is just make sure that those oat groats are cooked. Once those are cooked, the chili is ready to go. But as with any good chili, if you let it cook longer, it will taste better. And it'll taste better even the next day once you've refrigerated it as well. But this chili has turned out to be one of my favorite things that I have created, and I hope you enjoy it too. Also, you know Jessica had to get those nice up-close shots of the chili going into the bowl. They're just so good looking. So there you have it. That is my weird chili that I have made. And yes, it has cocoa powder. Yes, it has oat groats in it. It is what it is. It's fantastic. It smells amazing. Jessica, the first time she tried it, was just like, "What did you make?
What did you make?"
And
it's
I was
so
like,
good.
And I was like, I made weird chili.
It's honestly, I know I say this every once in a while, but I think this might be the best thing you've ever made.
So there you go. From Jessica's mouth,
Jessica Krock.
The best thing Brian has ever made. It is super, super tasty, and we should probably go ahead and try it though. So get yourself a nice little bit.
I garnished it.
I saw that.
I made it look pretty with some chives. I'm gonna get a nice scoop.
It just has this darkness to it that is awesome.
It's got like just such a deep, rich flavor that almost gives you like a meaty kind of flavor without the meat, obviously. And the oat groats.
They're chewy.
Yes, the oat groats are like the star.
They definitely give you something to sort of bite into, which is really, really good. If you don't have oat groats, you can use some other kind of groats. Or I guess you could use rice if you rinse that. The point is that you want to cook the chili long enough to cook the whatever it is that you use in there. So the reason why this chili cooked for an hour was because it needed to cook the oat groats long enough to where they actually did develop that flavor. Not to mention, I mean, it's the standard rule of chili. The longer you cook it, the better it tastes.
This isn't even really hot. We heated it up a little bit, but honestly, even at this temperature, it just is amazing.
I could eat this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No joke.
Yes, and so do the oat groats though, because this is the first time we've used oat groats, and we've heard really good things. I know Brittany Giroudi swears by the oat groats. So what is an oat groat? Explain it to the people.
From what I understand, it's basically the unprocessed form of oats. So whenever you get like oatmeal, it's usually been flattened, and then that's what you would use to make oatmeal. You can get steel cut oat, which is basically the groats that have been cut with these big steel things. And then your groats, though, are just like the oat
unprocessed.
Yeah,
so
unprocessed
it's like kind
form.
of the most unprocessed version of like oats that you can really get.
Yes. If I'm wrong about that, though, just roast me in the comments.
And just roast him. It's fine.
But you do want to rinse them before.
Yes.
I know I said that in the video that you should rinse them. I think the first time though I didn't rinse them, and I sent a message to Brittany and I was like, am I supposed to rinse these? And she's like, yes. And I go, oops. And she's like, you'll be fine. I'm like, and I was. And it still came out perfectly great. It was very tasty still.
Yeah, but Brittany uses basically kind of in place of rice in a lot of dishes, but she really likes them. And she has a video about oat groats, so I'll link to that below. But this is the first time we tried them, and they're not something that you can find in a normal grocery store. We actually found them in the bulk bins at Whole Foods. But I will also include a link on the blog post where you can get the printable recipe and all that and see photos and all that jazz. I always put products that we use in each video and link to them, so you can find a link to where you can purchase some oat groats online in the blog post that's linked in the description below.
Yes, but this chili, it is earthy. It has a deep, rich flavor to it. It has those chewy bits from the groats. It has a bit of sweetness from the tomatoes and everything, especially with the fire roasted tomatoes and the tomato paste. And it just works really, really well together. If you want to make it spicier, you can throw in some cayenne or some red pepper flakes or something like that. But this is not a really, really spicy, I mean, it's not even really spicy. It's not even spicy in my opinion. But it's got a good just depth of flavor to it.
Now, I really like the fact you can see this is like not liquidy at all. This is like, this is very thick. And I love that. Like, I like that in a chili.
That's because I cooked it actually even longer than an hour.
When you refrigerate it too, like overnight, it'll just even like just kind of, it'll dry up a little bit more, like, you know. And so you could definitely add a little bit. What would you just suggest adding a little bit of extra veggie broth, water, whatever in there and thin it out if you wanted to. I've even, I mean, with our other chili, when we used to actually go to an office to work, I would take it to the office, and if it was too thick, I would just add like a splash of water, stir it up, then microwave it. So you could definitely do that. But I love it like this, and I think with this consistency, it would taste great like on top of a baked potato or like, you know, even just as like a filling. I don't know. It almost could be like a sloppy Joe kind of like thing.
Yeah, it really could. You could put it on some bread or a bun or something like that. Maybe wrap it up in a wrap of some kind with some other veggies or something. She's moving away from me like there isn't 2 more bowls of it in the refrigerator. It doesn't make a massive amount, and you know,
it's 4 servings, so it's not, you know, what we call servings, but we wanted to do some recipes that were like soups and stews and chilies and all that were like not huge batches, but you could obviously double it and all that. And we probably will going forward.
This is technically then soup number 2 in my soups
secret
and
project.
stews and for my first secret project. But yeah, this is technically number 2 on my list, and I've got a bunch of others that I'm still that are still coming up, so you guys can look forward to seeing those. But yes, it's an entire series though of soups and stews and the like, and they're just they're super easy to do. You will see, like you saw in the video, like there wasn't anything super fancy about it. It was just a couple of really simple ingredients thrown together and cooked properly.
And it's like the perfect start of fall. Like this is just fall in a bowl to me. I mean, we eat chili all year long, but just like the cooler weather and like just having a nice hot bowl of this is just like, yes, I could eat it every day.
And it doesn't really taste like chocolate either.
No.
That's the funny thing for me, is that like I'm not huge on chocolate, but the chocolate and the chili powder just work so well together with this and the tomatoes that it comes out just being amazing. But I do think it's funny whenever you mix in those spices, like with everything in the first bit, and you get that chocolate, it really does just smell like you've just baked fudge or something like that, or brownies. And it actually makes the entire apartment here smell just amazing. Also makes you want dessert, but you know, then once you get everything else in there, it kind of all works together and makes this. I am super, super proud of this one, and I am really looking forward to showing you guys what else I got as far as the soup series is concerned.
I can't wait for people to try this one out.
Yeah, this one will be good. Yeah. And like most people should, except for the groats, most people should have this, all of these ingredients pretty much on hand, or if not, they're very easily attainable.
But if you do try it out, be sure to tag us in your photos on social media. Do you like how I just transitioned there? So we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. So always tag us on your photos. We love seeing your creations and your versions of our recipes. You can also I don't know, subscribe to the channel if you
Yeah.
want to see more videos, all the upcoming stuff we have, which is a lot. We've got a lot of stuff coming your way, trust me. And you can like the video.
Share it.
You can share it. You can
Share this one out to all those groups out there where people share recipes and whatnot, so then all of them can just be like, oh my, that looks like a tasty chili.
You can comment and tell us that you like us or you hate us. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you hate us.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys hate us, go ahead and tell us.
If you've made it this far in the video and you hate us, please comment below. I would love to hear from you. What else?
Is that it?
That's all I got.
That is certainly all I got. We will see you next time on Krocks in the Kitchen. Bye.